How's everyone doing tonight? We got Ponga with a hi Dan and the quick bye Dan. I don't know if he'll be back in later. That probably means he can't hang out tonight, which is fine. Um Cookie Cat asks, is Dan gonna be late? On my end, I went live before it said 9:01. Get my thing. Okay, it shows it. So I am live at 9:00. Not to the second, but before 9:01 is what I consider on time. Um, during the debate, I got you. I'll have you streaming. 9:01. I was live before 9:01. You didn't refresh your thing in time. But yeah, I scheduled this earlier. It's gonna be a busy week. Got some things going on with the family the next couple nights late. So I wanted to get my weekly, bi-weekly, fortnightly, whatever we're calling it, live stream out of the way. No real itinerary, no real schedule for the night. So as always, if people have questions, feel free to drop them. We'll see if we can keep the lights blue and orange, or maybe they'll end up red before too long. But yeah, I'll probably rant and ramble about all different kinds of things. If anyone wants to steer me in a certain direction, I will keep an eye on the chat. Streaming during the debate, bold. I don't know how many people. I wonder what the crossover is. Like, what is the overlap? Let's see that Venn diagram of presidential debate watchers and Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles YouTube watchers. I don't know that that would be a massive overlap, but maybe it would be. I genuinely have no clue, and I'm fairly interested in that. Actually, funny enough, I have it on the TV here, as if it's like a football game or something, as if watching it on mute will tell me anything, do anything. I don't have closed captions on. I'm not going to give a play-by-play. I'm not rooting for either team, but it is on. Brad's here. I can turn the red lights on now. I'll try to keep them blue and orange. We'll see, though. We'll see where people take me. The debate is here. Zach's excited. Nice to see you in here. How's it going, Zach? Zach the man. Mine rhymes, but yours is more true. Dan is the independent party. I am very apolitical. I am we don't need to talk about politics tonight, but I guess it might come up from time to time given the scheduling. But I am a very apolitical person. I think too many personal anecdotes where people are way too into it, I think. Way too into it, and to their own detriment, in my opinion. But do what you want to do, enjoy, or don't. It seems like, outside looking in, it seems like a lot of people aren't enjoying their involvement in it. I say that as a Jets fan. Why don't we talk about sports? I say that as a Jets fan, as a Rangers fan, as a Mets fan. Some people treat their political following kind of like sports, and I talk about how they, well, outside looking in, they don't feel like they enjoy it. Can I really talk, though? Can I really talk as a Jets fan? It's like, how do I live with that fandom, with how it's treated me? That reminds me of being Oak's lifeline the other night on Slab Podcast. He called me up, and I helped him answer what Super Bowl was the current one coming up in February. And like a very poor Jets fan, I mean, Jets and Mets, 1969, the funny year. They both won the funny year. They both won the championship. So I know the Jets won Super Bowl III against the Baltimore Colts. I should have known to count up from Super Bowl III in 1969. But instead, I did some all kind of all over the place. I landed on the Tyree helmet catch, Super Bowl 42, that I watched in my freshman year at college. It was in like the biggest lecture hall. Awesome night. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Rodgers did get benched. That is facts, actually. Thankfully, he did not get benched. He did not get filled in for on the fourth snap, whatever it was, having his ACL tear. But he did get benched because they were being blown out. They were being blown the F out, which was not good. That was not a good feeling. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for all things Catch 'em All Collectibles. I'm really excited for the business where it's at. I'm really excited for a lot of things. I mean, just over a month now, we have, let's try to steer back to Pokemon. I'm on all this football, all these politics and all that. As people filter in, maybe people immediately tune out because of that. But I'm really excited where we are in the year. I do love summer a lot. Summer was awesome. The whole year's been great. a lot of travel, a lot of conventions, some non-convention travel as well. But 1 month, 1 month to Chicago Collecticon. Chicago Collecticon will close my year as far as conventions go. I'm really up in the air. I think I posted a video 3, 4, 5 weeks ago now where I'm kind of at like a crossroads between the whole eBay vault closure and then going into the Fanatics consigning. Fanatics consigning is here to stay, I believe. I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon because that's gone really well. But like vending is something that last year I did a few of them. I kind of talked about doing 2, 3, 4 of them a year. I don't know. I didn't end up vending. New Jersey was actually more of a family trip than a convention. I did vend Charlotte, but I only vended one day because I just sold everything in one day. I'm doing more business, like business to business. In some ways, it's kind of silly. Like I'll fly all my inventory to a place and then I'll sell it there to people that I could just ship to. Like half the time I'm shipping my Collecticon inventory down there. But yeah, I'm kind of up in the air. I'm leaning heavily towards maybe not vending any convention next year. I really do enjoy it, but the biggest things that I enjoy about conventions, seeing everyone, being able to talk business, talk life, talk personal stuff, talk everything. I don't need to vend to do that. And I think shout out to Ponga. Shout out to Ponga. He very successfully consigned for me multiple times now. I think he consigned for me, which one was it? He consigned for me a couple slabs in New Jersey, and then he also consigned for me some slabs in Orlando, I believe it was. I mix up which conventions are which all the time. But I've thrown slabs in other people's cases, and I've gotten to my cash sales goal for the convention based off just throwing a few things in, subsidizing someone else's table, paying for someone else's table or their weekend, throwing them a few percentages of what they sell for me. So I'm leaning heavily towards, actually, Chicago. I'm not vending that one. I'm bringing cards and I'm putting them in Ponga's case probably. So yeah, Ponga consignments at conventions has worked out really well for me. I think that might be my plan moving ahead. Another thing in the same vein, I talked about it in my video Monday. Some people might only watch the video, some people might only watch the lives. So let me recap Monday's video a little bit. It was kind of like I guess I'm doing the same thing right now, kind of like a state of the business, state of what I'm doing, what I've got going on. Live streaming is coming soon. I will be doing my launch. It's time is flying, as I've been saying it all year. Coming soon. Feels like MetaZoo. Constantly soon, never an actual date. Thankfully though, unlike MetaZoo, I did not like set firm dates and then miss them. I set for the first time recently. I set a squishy date. I wouldn't call it a firm date, but like I set an ish. I set end of September-ish, or I think I did say, I need to listen back, look back. I think I did say something would definitely happen before Chicago. So I guess that's not very squishy. That has to happen. Whether it be an eBay live, whether it be a Fanatics live, I'm not entirely sure. But those are the two primary platforms that I'm looking at. Whatnot exists. Whatnot, obviously, people are doing massive things. Shout out Ray, Shining Cards and Collectibles. If you are not following him on Whatnot, definitely go give him a follow. Him having his brother Dan, also Dan, got to support the fellow Dans. That Ray guy, but I'll support a fellow Dan. And then Kevin also, Bierski, are doing big things over on that channel, so go give them a follow. But yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that I vend, I can do just as well selling elsewhere, is where I'm at. Or I can do just as well. It's like I can stand there behind the table from 8 to 5. So what is that? For 9 hours. 9 hours. Well, I think it's 8 to 6 and then 8 to 5. So 10 hours one day, 9 hours the next day. 19 hours. I can stand behind a table for 19 hours and I can sell 80-90% of it. I actually sold 80-90% of it in one day on Charlotte, during Charlotte. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna lean more, bringing, like, I have it right next to me, bringing this guy full of the slabs that I would want to sell, and then just consigning them with a few people, leaving them, if Ponga can fit them all, if one person can fit them all, consign with them, help subsidize their trip. If I need to, I could spread it out amongst a couple tables, or just walk up to a dealer too and try to do a cash deal, sell to somebody, sell to the same people that I sell to at every convention. Oftentimes, some portion of my sales are usually to a handful, five different people maybe. But anyways, let me catch up with chat. I don't need to vend. I'll just mooch off other people's tables. I think Ponga, if he was in here, he did say hi and bye before the stream started. When I take up this much of a case and I pay a commission of hundreds of dollars more than the table cost, I think the people that I'm mooching off of are very happy in that transaction, creating win-wins. People external to the situation will find a way to try to sow some drama. We'll try to find a negative take, a dramatic take, if you will. Drama labas of the hobby will try to find a dramatic take that they are external to, not a party to. But yeah, Ponga and I got a good thing going. If I pay for his table, if he sells me a few cards, great gig. Get him, Brad. Modern versus vintage, begin. Modern versus vintage Steins, are we talking? I do have Schultz and Dooley over my shoulder. Don't get me into modern versus vintage Steins. Would knowing either party's vertical sway you at all? That's actually a hilarious thought. I wish on stage right now they had one of anyone who is into the NFL. Love that it's NFL season right now. One thing about NFL season, it means hockey season's looming, which I'm excited for. Also, it means actually the Mets are sitting in that third wildcard spot. I don't watch regular season baseball, and as a Mets fan, I rarely watch postseason baseball because they are rarely in it. But that one year, how many years ago was that? I don't even remember. 5, 6, 7 years ago, they randomly went like to the World Series out of nowhere. But I intend on watching a little bit of Mets if they actually secure a spot in the playoffs. Jets, Rangers, all the sports going, all the breaking down product, sourcing product, all the conditioning cards that goes on while I'm watching sports. It works out well. Hockey, though, I will say it's harder to be productive during hockey because the puck is actually in play for the majority of time, whereas football, it's like, okay, they run for 5 seconds, and then it's a 40-second breather, condition a few cards, ship a few orders, whatever. Football goes well with working because, like, when you think about it all, like, it distills down into 9 or 10 minutes of actual action during, like, a 2.5 hour, 3 hour event. But I went through that whole rant and ramble. If they put the vertical thing, if you jump as high as you can and then you hit those little spinny things, if they put one of those on the debate stage right now, Kamala or Trump, who's winning that? Who has a higher vertical? I don't know. That would be an interesting measure to see where the parties lay. The clock is ticking, Dan. Will you start up streaming before Chicago? Yes, I said I will, so I will. I also have a little bit of personal responsibility type stuff going on. I posted it on my Instagram for accountability. Like, I bust Brad's chops. We go back and forth. One thing I will give to Brad: if I slip up, if I don't get down to my target weight, if I set a smart goal and then fail to achieve it through lacking consistency, lacking persistence, motivation, consistency, if I lack all those good traits and fail to reach my 225 by the end of the year, if I fail to dunk a basketball next year, Brad will be there calling me out. So Brad, thank you for partially being some amount of my motivation. So, mostly health and like just general good things like that, but you've also got like the negative side. I mean, negativity can be some kind of a push as well. So I've got the Brads of the world poking me to, like, I don't want Brad to be able to call me out for not being a man of my word and not being able to throw down a dunk next year. So I think every time I go, some amount of buying, trading, selling will always go on. I always prearrange a deal. There's always some amount of business discussed, some amount of things set up. There's always something going down. So I will continue to attend 2 to 4 a year, but vending, it just feels less likely. We'll see though. Things could change. I'm not like full commit to that. Maybe it happened to Nick. It happened to the other half of the not the other half. I was gonna say the Pokenomics. It happened to the other half of the Pokeflips podcast. So Nick started live streaming. At one point I was talking to him and he was talking about going to every Collecticon every year, going and getting a full section, putting his logo on the map, all this and that. And then Boom, just like that, a switch flipped, and he went live on eBay, and eBay stole him. eBay stole him away from all of us. No more Instagram, no more YouTube. Never really did it in Discord, but like you can't find him anywhere but live on eBay. He's live right now, I believe. So yeah, maybe open up 2 windows, throw some bids on Nick's stuff, hang out here, engage in the chat some. But yeah, maybe I get as sucked into the live streaming as Nick does. I really doubt it. Part of the reason that I always have to have a drink during these live streams, my voice is like, I need to be drinking something if I'm talking. I probably talk louder than I need to during this. I could just turn, I don't know. I probably talk louder than I need to. I feel like I do have a slightly elevated voice for these. But 2-hour live stream, if I'm not hydrating, if I'm not like wetting my whistle throughout that, I'm gonna be hoarse by the end of it. The end of a Collecticon weekend, for anyone who has been at a convention with me, very rarely do I have any voice left on Sunday. All Nick does, $1, like all that. I can't do that. I could not maintain that. That man is a machine. So there's a chance that I really enjoy it. I don't think it's that risky though. I don't think it's that high likelihood. One, I don't think my voice could handle it. 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a night, 4 or 5 nights a week. And then on top of that, yeah, I just don't see it happening. I don't think it's a big risk that I'll get sucked into the live streaming and just push beyond everything else. Push everything else off to the side. But we'll see. I think the most likely thing will be that I will, because I did used to do YouTube every MetaZoo set that released. Thank you to everyone who supported me through those. But every MetaZoo set that released, I would live stream UFO, Seance, Native, and then I also I remember I live streamed Japanese 151 for 151. I live streamed 151 for 151 back when that was the market price, and yeah, so I've always enjoyed those, but like once a month maybe. Once a month is what I see for that. I'm not set up well. I'm trying to keep up with live chat and highlighted chat, but I'm doing poorly. I'm not that far behind though. Chat is going nice and slow right now. Fanatics live stream looks crisp and polished. It's pretty damn surprising. I'm interested to see. Sorry, I'm just glancing over at the debate, and they're giving each other some pretty good looks from time to time. It seems like, just for a little bit of color commentary on your play-by-play of the debate. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how the back end looks and feels for both. One thing that is kind of really annoying, like TCG Player, I talked about it in my video on Monday. TCG Player is a new aspect of my business that I've done in the past. I've done it myself. I was never a big fan. Sky, that one guy, shout out to him. He is independent contracting out by Catch 'em All. I don't even think I have Catch 'em All collectibles. I forget if I'm Catch 'em All collectibles on TCG Player or Catch 'em All COLL, Catch 'em All Call, or Catch 'em All C. A lot of platforms, a lot of things, you can't have a username that's as long as Catch 'em All collectibles. I believe it's 20 characters. Yes. 20 or more characters. So yeah, I might even be Catch 'em All Call on TCG Player. But the back end is so bad. Like, Sky and I are arranging what he will be paid, and we're talking about doing percentages of certain card values and this and that. Obviously, like a higher percentage for lower value, a lower percentage for higher value. Because if you're pulling a $500 Moonbryon versus pulling a 50-cent random whatever card that would be, or a random V or whatever, it takes the same amount of time to pack and ship, generally speaking. So having to do a hybrid, you can't even pull. One thing you can't even do on TCG Player, as far as I understand, as far as he understands, you can pull by order, but you can't even pull by item. Like I can't pull a full spreadsheet that shows over the past 3 months every item that I've sold. To me, it's insane. It's like, how can I not pull a singular spreadsheet that just shows every item that I've sold? You can show order total, and it doesn't show how many items it was, and it doesn't show any of the items included. Like the amount of reporting that I can pull from Shopify, from eBay, from all these things. Like, I've always done all my own bookkeeping for tax purposes, and it's so easy. TCG Player makes a lot of things pretty rough. I only recently, a month ago now, I finally made it so I can spend more than $1,000 on TCG Player at one time. I don't know what they're doing over there, but like, it's wild to me. Like, they move so much product, and there's so much good product you can buy on there. They've got good deals. Like, I want to love them. eBay bought them, but so many things it just feels like are so clunky at TCG Player that I wish they would sort that out. But anyways, somehow I got there from Fanatics, but I'm excited to try Fanatics, see how the back end feels. Hopefully pulling reports is very easy. Again, where I was going with that, I'm going to be contracting out streaming. I'm going to be paying streamers. Nothing is set in stone yet. I've been in conversations with Ponga and PK, as I talked about, finally name dropping now. I've been talking with them since the spring. Since before the spring. Since, like, late last year, I think. But anyways, yeah, I need the ability to pull a quick report and then just throw a formula at it that looks at how many packs were sold. Because maybe we have a certain fixed dollar per pack, cents per pack, whatever it would be, a certain number per pack, percentage, if it's a single, if it's a slab. We don't fully have the pay structure worked out. But hopefully the eBay Live, I mean, the way that I understand it, talking to Nick, looking, and watching other people, I think the eBay Live sales funnel right into your awaiting shipment, your awaiting shipment as your normal eBay orders do. So I'm fully comfortable with how to do all that already. I'm quite confident, actually, now that I talk myself through it out loud. I'm confident that I'll be able to pull all the reporting from eBay Live sales. I'll just make sure we have packs in the title. I'll make sure we title things intelligently so that we know what raw is, so that we know what slabs are, so that we know what packs are. I won't do item 1, item 2, item 3 and have some sealed mingle in with the slabs and singles, because I will likely pay differently based on that. Nice thing about singles, nice thing about packs, I have a known fixed, there's a known fixed market price on TCG Player. There's a known fixed acquisition price for me to get the latest set, whatever, $90, $95 a box that I buy from my distributor. So if I have a known replacement cost and a known sale cost, a known fee amount, now we can just figure out the particulars of who's getting how much and all that. So yeah, I think the way that I'm going to lean is like a pack structure is going to be more, you get X amount per pack that you open, and then raw and slabs are more likely to be percentage based. And probably just like I do with Sky on TCG Player, the lower value it is, since it takes the same amount of time to ship it, same amount of time to stream it, show it off, maybe a little bit quicker, because if you have a $500 slab, you might spend a little bit longer. Maybe you'll run a 30-second auction as opposed to a 5-second, 10-second auction or sudden death. But still, there will probably be like anything under this amount, you get this percentage, higher percentage. Everything over this amount, you get a lower percentage, something like that. So Fanatics, I have no idea. To be honest, as far as the one thing I do know, and Fanatics Live and Fanatics Auctions are two separate entities, largely. I think later in the year, maybe in the coming years, they'll marry them more together to some extent. But as far as I understand, as of today, I do a lot of auction stuff with the consignments with my own stuff. That will live separately, kind of in a different bank account, in a different payouts, different reporting. The auction back end, the auction reporting on PWCC on Fanatics has never been as good, or maybe I'm just not as familiar with it, that I don't like it as much as eBay's. I've been used to eBay's for over 20 years. I've only done Fanatics and PWCC for the last couple months, and then a couple years ago I did them for a few months too. So, but yeah, I will definitely value some amount, like the back end logistics of how I actually pull and run the reports. But more than anything else, it's like, even if the reporting is bad, if the consumers are there, if the buying is good, if the prices are good, that's where I'm going to do the majority of my stuff, right? Whatever makes most sense as a business, whatever makes the most sense margin-wise and all that, I will definitely give them the bulk of my business. Sorry, let me continue on here. TCG, where do we go? TCG Player will ship to Antarctica, but not Australia. That's wild. Yikes, Pongo. Sorry to hear you had to settle. That must be... I mean, I said this in my video on Monday. Things could change between now and then on their end. On my end. So if PK never runs a stream for me, if Ponga never runs a stream for me, they must have dumped me. I didn't dump them. As far as I understand, I guess I'm really sticking my neck out there saying that, because now I'll have the shame to have been Nick's 27th favorite pick as a podcast host, and to have been shunned by PK or Ponga if they don't stream for me. But no, I'm quite confident. Within it might be only me streaming. Maybe I stream once on eBay, once on Fanatics before Chicago, and then I'm gonna. I don't think PK is going to Chicago actually, but Ponga will be there. Maybe it's not till after that they actually stream, but my intent, my desire is that I stream maybe even late this month, late September, and then early October, having both of them stream. And then say they stream their first stream early October, and certain things like we need to figure it out. I mean, PK actually lives, I think, reasonable driving distance from me, so like I could go over, I could drive over, figure things out. And if Ponga has any issues, I'm actually excited. 2 weeks after Chicago, I have a Chicago wedding, and I'm actually going to go hang out with Ponga a little bit during that. So I will be seeing Ponga in Chicago at Collecticon, and then also 2 weeks later, I'll be seeing him when I'm there for a wedding. So, I mean, anytime you start something new, there's going to be little hiccups. There's going to be little things here and there you have to sort out and work through. So they both live reasonably close enough. And that's one, I mean, as I said, I don't really want a W-2. I don't want someone sitting right here ripping packs in my office, all that. I got to do my own thing here. But independent contractors that are reasonably easy to travel to is something that I value. And I'm very excited for Ponga and PK to be the first ones. First and maybe only. We'll see how it all goes. Hopefully we can create a win-win, very mutually beneficial relationship that will continue on into the future. But we'll see. Dan live stream better than presidential debate. Let me is this the debate stream? Who are you debating against? Let's see. So I'm gonna try to stay on topic, try to bounce around. Will you be increasing? So we were talking about TCG Player for a minute there. Will you be increasing your Japanese single sealed business if TCG Player adds Japanese singles and sealed? I think generally speaking, if TCG Player adds Japanese singles and sealed, I think I'll still have access to get them cheaper. I shout out Retrospecs on Instagram. I said it wrong in my video on Monday, so sorry Retro, I'll give you the proper. I knew there was an underscore. Anytime I go into Instagram and I try to find Retro, he's usually right there because I'm talking to him quite a bit, but sometimes all over the place I talk to him. But anyways, he is underscore Retrospecs. He is not retro underscore specs, as I erroneously stated in my video on Monday. So sorry, Retro, for the bad shout out. But anyways, I still think I will get significantly better deals through Retro directly. I think he'll get stuff like unless something changes, and maybe pipelines will be created, not physical, literal pipelines. But I think if TCG Player starts carrying Japanese product, well, I texted Retro earlier. I'm like, hey, are you gonna set up a TCG Player store if and when this happens? Because him having access to that stuff, him kind of knowing where to find it, having access, that could be like a big boon for his business. Like right now, he's doing more stuff. Instagram, he's doing more like private deals with some local people. But if TCG Player, they move massive amounts of cardboard. If they start having Japanese product listed on there, I mean, Retro might start doubling down, tripling, quadrupling the amount that he sources and just throwing up a bunch on TCG Player. And there could be really good margins there. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that works. Then, I mean, just as we see with English, it's not that it couldn't ever be cheaper. There are times where maybe people get a pallet over here, get hundreds of boxes over here, and then the market goes down, they need to sell for whatever reason. There could be times where Japanese sealed is cheaper on TCG Player. There could be times where Japanese singles are cheaper on TCG Player than they are elsewhere. Generally, that wouldn't be the case. They would be some kind of markup, some kind of margin, so that the people importing them are actually making a margin. But there might be big bankers out there, big businesses out there. Maybe I'll cast out my reel and see what I can come up with. But there might be big pipelines being created. I don't know. I'm not. I'm doing things at a bigger level than I was 10 years ago. But I'm still doing things at a fraction of like the Troll and Toads and the Dave and Adams and the things like the companies like that, the massive companies. If Dave and Adams were to like take a few of their employees and send them over to Japan and have them like there could be direct pipelines created to arbitrage on that opportunity in the market if that were to come. So I might do that to some level, but there definitely could be very, very high level players that would be doing that. Would TCG Player themselves be looking to establish some kind of a pipeline? I know they run like TCG Player Direct, TCG Player Story or products. So TCG Player, they're actually like 45 minutes away from me in Syracuse. They have some amount of their own inventory. They store products and store. It's called Story or Products, TCG Player Story or Products. It's like next level direct. And yeah, like how they went about doing that. Would they ever go about doing that for Japanese? I have no idea. But it's interesting. It's interesting. And if you play to any extent in the Japanese market, like it's something that you should keep a finger on the pulse of it. Pay attention to it. Catch 'em all collect is what our TCG Player is. There is my independent contractor, my director of TCG Player management, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Catch 'em all. See how the back end feels collectibles. Oh man. Wow, Dan putting it out there so that if they try to leave, they have to feel bad for him. They're both excited to get started. Like, I really don't anticipate there being an issue. I thought about it, like, as I recorded it in my video. Once I finished recording the video, I'm like, oh, man, I didn't actually ask either of them. But PK has mentioned it separately on his channel. I don't know that Ponga, maybe he did mention it in one of the box nostalgias. I can't remember. But anyways, I feel pretty comfortable with those two guys. I feel pretty comfortable. And there will be, like, no love lost if for whatever reason it doesn't end up happening with either of them. But I would be not expecting that to happen. I'm fully expecting them to be streaming next month for sure. So yeah, who would be listing Japanese on TCG Player? Will it increase competition in the Japanese market? It'll change it. It'll change it to some extent. It'll some amount of people will be mass importing Japanese singles and just blindly listing all of them. I'm sure some amount of TCG Player Japanese product would be, as English is, fully gradable, gem mint quality. Some amount of people, like Catch 'em all collect on TCG Player, I would personally not recommend buying from Catch 'em all collect on TCG Player if you're trying to buy a PSA 10 Celebrations Charizard. That is where my cast-asides go. I actually have, I can't show you the stack because I would be spilling the graded edge plays, but I recently went through about 1,000 cards that I've bought in the past few weeks on graded edge. I've spent like $30,000 on graded edge. 20, I think I spent 20 on the first pass, and then like I just spent like 65, and I just spent another couple grand, probably 25 to 30 I've spent, and several hundred cards, probably nearing 1,000. They're not all in yet, but this is mostly the grading misses. And these will all be going over to Skya to sell on TCG Player. So some might 10 if I was too harsh on them, but generally speaking, I grade cards where the 9s are not nearly as punishing as the 10s are rewarding. So I grade stuff that's very borderline towards a PSA 9. I grade stuff that's like a 9.3, 9.5, somewhere in that vicinity. Shouldn't round up to a 10, but sometimes it does. And overall, I try just getting enough, a high enough 10 percentage that it makes sense. If you get too many 9s, now you're hurting your actual EV on the whole thing. So, but yeah, I actually, again, I don't want to show them because I'm going to spill the beans. But I will, full disclosure, at some point down the line, I'll talk about the ones that I picked and why I picked them. I'll probably do like a shallow, or I guess I'll go the other way. Instead of going down under the sea, I'll go up above in the clouds. I'll do like a 30,000 feet level of my graded edge play for mass viewing for YouTube, and then I will gatekeep a little bit of sauce behind the paywall. I'll do a 30,000 foot level review of my graded edge play for YouTube, and then I'll do an in-depth one for the Patreon itself, where I actually show you every card. I talk more in depth about why it was those cards. But I bought, all these are Japanese. All these are Japanese when I was just flying through TCG Player, not paying enough attention, and then I ended up buying like, what is this, like 20? I think I bought like 20 Japanese cards. Annoying, but it was my own fault. I was flying through. I was so frustrated. I was endlessly frustrated with TCG Player because over the span of a week, I built about 10 $5,000 cards, $5,000, $10,000 cards. I checked out with them all at once, and then they refunded me for everything. They refunded me for everything, and I went back and forth with them for a week or two. I've been going back and forth with them for over a year overall on these $1,000 orders getting canceled left and right. But finally, they changed something in the back end where I finally can place an order without getting it instantly refunded, which is nice. Yeah, TCG player comps for Japanese would change that. It would fix the issue we have with English stuff where I accidentally bought this card. Maybe the normal one was 20. I probably bought this for 15. In actuality, the Japanese card is probably like 5 or something. I probably got kind of wrecked. And some of those run fairly high, higher than they should. But yeah, let me make sure. I jumped down a little bit. I want to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. What's the best way to move a case fresh unified mines box? Could I expect a premium? Should I trade it and try to get full market, or should I just try and sell for 85-90%? I am someone who's usually there. I'm usually there for like 70 to 85% market, depending on what it is. So I'm there. Don't go lower than that. Absolutely, is what I would say. I know, like Alex, Nostalgianomics. He might break it on his channel. He probably doesn't want to pay 100% of market, and he's not going to value the fact that it's case fresh. I'm not valuing the fact that it's case fresh. To get the end consumer dollars, to get 100% of market, generally you have to go to the biggest, broadest market. Generally, to get 100% market, you have to go to eBay, and you have to cough up the 10-15% fees. You generally, even when you're getting 100%, you're getting about 85%. So I'm fairly biased when I tell you this, but I think selling to me, I think selling to Alex, I think selling to someone who's just going to pay you 80-85% and be like a guaranteed, no hassle. Say your case fresh box, say you don't pack it perfectly, say it goes in the mail and it gets dinged up a little bit. I'm not messaging you about that. I'm paying you. I'm saying, hey, where do you want the money sent? Boom, money sent, done and over with. People that are ripping it, streamers are not going to bother about little dings and dents. If you sell it as case fresh, pristine, immaculate, beautiful, and UPS, USPS, FedEx, if they rough it up a bit in the mail and it gets to with a corner ding to your buyer, you're not going to have a good time. No one's going to have a good time with that. So there's something to be said about like cash in hand, guaranteed, easy transactions. Generally speaking, you'll pay some premium. Paying the premium means you're taking a discount. Either way, it's the same thing. You're paying a premium to have less risk transaction. When you go up to a vendor at Collecticon and they give you 80% cash, that is the most zero risk transaction you can possibly have. There is nothing to go wrong. There's no issue that's going to happen, right? It's done. It's over with. You walk away. Price goes up. Price goes down. Case gets... Nothing can happen that can harm you once you're done with that, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you want to get 100% of market, you can also try to. Good luck if you try this, but some people have success with it. Generally speaking, though, my take, what I hear, what I see, if you want to get 100% of market, cut out the middleman, cut out eBay. One, you're losing literally millions of potential buyers. You're losing millions of potential eyes. Go to Facebook. Go to OfferUp, go to Craigslist, go to whatever. Put it on your table in your garage sale on your front lawn, and try to cut out the middleman and try to get 100%. They're saving sales tax. Realistically, you should be charging it probably legally. So they're saving sales tax. You're saving the fees. If you can find that perfect situation where you find the end consumer that wants exactly what you have, that's great. That is just tedious. That is oftentimes very tedious. I always, and keep in mind who you're talking to too. I think you know, Fat Belly, who you're talking to. I say everything with a big bias towards how I interact with the hobby, how I transact in the hobby. If you make 5 sales a year and you don't mind the process of selling to people, you don't mind driving down to the gas station and trying to meet up with somebody, if you don't mind all that, if you enjoy that, kind of like the hunt for your right buyer, absolutely sell on your own and try to get 90, 95, 100%. But to me, all I see is, like, I'm trying to do very, very high level, high dollar, high throughput, low margin stuff. I can't take that time. So, like, I run away from anything that has to do with direct customer interaction, all those messages, all that back and forth, all that, like, give me your address, give me the... I don't want that. Like, I want someone to click a button 2,000 miles away from me, click a button, boom, I wake up the next day, you got an order, ship this slab here, ship like, well, this one's not getting shipped, this is PC, but ship this Quaxley 2,000 miles away, never DM, never back and forth, never negotiate. It's just like, I had this on eBay for X price. They bought it. I ship it, done and over with. That's the kind of transaction I like to do. So I am very biased against selling directly to the end consumer in that fashion. I would be more pro like selling on eBay, where you're only going to get 85%. So that is my very long-winded answer on what I would do with that. Humvee Combine next year in Charlotte. eBay does not have the multi-account. That is one thing that is very anti-eBay for me. So I do consigning on my eBay. I cannot hand over the keys to the castle, as I've been saying. I cannot give Ponga or PK or anyone. It's not that I don't trust them. It's not anything like that. But I just can't do it. I can't fully. And shout out to Retro again. Retro has what's called multi-user account access to my eBay. Over in Washington, he has some amount of Japanese product that he buys and fulfills for me. We have a percentage, just like I have a percentage with Skya. I pay him for his labor and his sourcing and all that. He gets like no risk. He gets no capital risk. He gets just guaranteed margin, making money, no capital risk. So it's a win-win. Same thing with Skya. Same thing PK and Ponga will have. eBay does not have multi-user account access set up for live streaming, as far as I understand. Unless they added it in the past week or two, which I hope they did. But as far as I understand, they do not. And I have to create like I've actually already created it. I believe I called it, I don't want to speculate as to what I called it, because I might think of something good and then someone might steal that one. But I created an alternate username with zero feedback, zero anything that I'll have to stream through. I'll have to stream through, and I think the way that I'll do it, I'll stream through that instead of streaming through my main account. I'll have that be the streaming account that I stream on, that Ponga streams on, that PK streams on. We're not going to overlap with each other. I don't see that ever happening. If anything, if two of them wanted to stream at one time, like maybe one would be live on eBay, one would be live on Fanatics. Get two different consumer bases at one time. But unfortunately, like, I'm going to have to stream on an alternate eBay account. I think they call it like a child account. Catch 'em All Collectibles will be the parent account. The live account will be the child account. Some of the numbers will funnel up to that, but like follows and likes and things like that won't funnel up, I don't think. I think my sales volume will, but I don't think the feedback will. I don't think the followers will. None of that will, which kind of sucks. And I could be understanding it incorrectly. But with Fanatics, I believe, like, I already have my Fanatics account, Catch 'em All Collectibles. I do the auctions with them. I'm going to be doing the live with them. But there will be, like, I think there can be multiple streaming accounts, kind of like multi-user account access. They will have their own login information, but it will all funnel into the one parent account. So it's still like parent-child accounts, but it like directly flows the information between the two, as far as I understand. I still need to call with eBay and Fanatics, and I still need to like see and experience more of this firsthand for myself. But I like the way that Fanatics is set up better in some ways, for sure. Low key, that weight loss challenge sounds dark, and it's assuming you're gaining zero muscle in the process. So far I've gone from 252 to 237. Definitely just straight weight loss. Losing fat, not gaining any muscle. I'm gonna be interested to see. I should be putting some amount of muscle on, doing this air alert, doing this shout out to Your Average Player. He actually messaged me. I'm gonna be doing push-ups, rock climbers. What were the other things? Push-ups, shoulder presses, and oh yeah, shoulder taps, like plank shoulder taps. I'm gonna be doing. So I will be hopefully putting on some amount of muscle. Hopefully I'll be losing fat significantly faster. I still need to go down in weight, but I need to get to 225 for sure by the end of the year. But if I never drop, so say end of the year I get to 225, my goal. I'm going to do that. I have to do that. If I start 2025 at 225 and I am still 225 by the end of the year, as long as I visually see and feel that some amount of additional fat was converted to weight, like I think it's completely reasonable for a 6'4" person to be 225. There are very different 6'4" 225s though. But like there are significantly more beer belly ones, like what I I haven't been that for a while. On the way up years ago, I was that for a bit. And then there are much more muscular frames for that same 6'4", 225. So yeah, I need to get to 225 and maybe get lighter. But instead of getting lighter, I'd rather just like get more of that fat converted to actual muscle. That's my goal. Bulking up with steak and burnt ends. Yeah, soda ban, drinking Arizona with an equal amount of sugar. Absolutely, this thing is not ideal. I have been drinking more water with a little bit of lemon, iced tea. I'm out of my iced tea right now, so I'm not drinking that currently. But I'm on a soda and IPA ban, soda and beer ban for the year, soda and alcohol ban. But I am doing. This is the first one, I think. Second one I've drank in September. Maybe one of these a week or something. A little treat for maybe fortnightly. Maybe I'll have 2 of these a month when I do my live streams. We'll see. But I've said it many times. I refuse to outright give up chicken wings. I refuse to outright. Right now I'm on a temporary ban for soda and beer. I will return to them once I'm on my trajectory. Once I know I have solidified getting to 225 by the end of the year, I will treat myself with the occasional soda, with the occasional beer. Soda ban 2024. How's it going, Beerski? We are indeed live. Nice to see you here. But yeah, I really enjoy foods that are really, really bad for you. I just will be better about moderation. I will be better about portion control, all that good stuff in the future. And then alternatively to on the other side of it, just like finances, I said this a year ago. I think I said this 2 years ago in a video. I have been very good at my life on managing finance, on managing my personal finance. And it's a different muscle entirely, but it is the same concepts. So finances are money in, money out. You can pull one of 2 levers to control your accumulation or your deficit, right? As a nation, as a country, we are running a deficit most every year. You can either earn more or spend less. And ideally, you do a little bit of both, and then you increase the amount you accumulate, save, invest for your future. Just like the other way, it's more like golf than baseball or most other sports. So in finance, it's like sports, big number good. Whereas health, it's like golf. It's like the one sport, golf, where low number good. You just need to increase your caloric deficit. So you want a monetary surplus in finance. You want a caloric deficit. You only have 2 things you can control that with. You can either burn more calories or consume less calories. I'm trying to get at it from both sides, primarily from January 1st to September 1st. I primarily only pulled one lever. I lowered the incoming calories. What I'm trying to do right now is also increase the outgoing calories. So I'm trying to attack it more from both sides. I weighed myself this morning. I was 236 this morning. I'm doing my official weigh-ins with Beerski and Java and a bunch of other people in a Discord DM. Those are on Fridays. But I'm gonna be 225 by the end of the year. I'm not going to allow myself to fail. I allowed myself to flounder from April 1st to September 1st. I did not lose a pound. I went down to 235, up to 242, back to 240, like up and down, but flat from April to September. And I'm putting a stop to that now. And with finances, as I said, finances came easy to me. Some people are the other way around. I know people personally that are very, very fit, very, very healthy, and they're terrible with money. Even though it's like a very similar discipline, even though functionally, on paper, a lot of analogies can be drawn, a lot of similarities exist, they're 2 entirely different muscles. You can be very good at one and very bad at the other. I am very good with just subconsciously, like just coasting through life, and like my finance muscle is just constantly doing good things. I was born with that. That just comes naturally to me. Some people have that with fitness. Some people have that with both. That would be amazing. I have to consciously try and think and be more what's the word I'm looking for? English is not my strong suit. I need to be more intentional with my fitness, with my health. And one thing, like having two kids, having two young kids, having a family, having people who like rely and depend on me, having people who I love, and having people who I want to be with for a long, long time, I am significantly less likely to be around in 50 years if I'm 250 or 275 or 300 or 350. It's like, where was I going to stop? I hit 250, and I kind of stuck at 250 for years and years. But as you age, though, as you become less and less physically active, all that stuff, it would have been easy to let that run away from me and get to 300. So I wish I had stopped it earlier. I wish I had stopped it at 220. I graduated college at 206, and I was an athletic. I was pretty athletic. I played racquetball multiple times a week, all year long. I played a bunch of intramural basketball. The biggest thing I missed about high school and in college is organized sports. It's so much easier to be so much more active when you can just text one of dozens of different people. Hey, do you want to go out and throw a frisbee? Hey, do you want to go out and kick a ball? Do you want to go out and shoot some hoops? Hit the ball around, racquetball, squash, whatever. I miss that. And pre-kids, pre-pandemic, I at least once a week I would meet up. We actually did an adult kickball league, my wife and I, with some of my coworkers, and we used to play intramural softball and kickball and basketball with a bunch of friends and family members and stuff. So I miss that. I miss that. It's so much harder when we have kids, they have kids, and this air alert is the start. I'm not gonna do air alert every 4 months forever. I think it's more intensive than it needs to be. But once air alert is done, once this upper body workout plan is done 4 months from now, roughly around the start of the new year, I will need to find a good start of my day workout regimen. I like 30 minutes, somewhere right around 30 minutes before I shower. That's my plan. Yeah, some people are just rock Pokemon. Absolutely. That is a very fitting image for what I was saying there. He just like, and maybe we don't know, like maybe he has to try really hard for that. I genuinely don't know. I think I can't remember exactly, but I think Connor actually had some amount of like a weight loss journey. I feel like I've seen pictures before where he had some more weight on him, and I don't think he was always absolutely fit, but maybe he was. I might be thinking of someone else. Sorry if I've got you wrong, Connor, but I believe there was some amount of a journey there too. And again, like I know some people that I've known for decades that that seemingly outside looking in feel like they don't have to try that much, but you never really know, right? You never really know what they're actually doing on the times that you can't see them, which is the vast majority of the time. Let's see. Paying 65% market on grading misses, we split shipping. We all know Crown Zenith is in there. There may or may not be some amount of Crown Zenith, since one of the best sets, one of my favorite sets, since Grimer called it out by name, I will show off one of them. Love Suicune. Used to say it Suicide when I was growing up, which is really weird. But Suicune from Crown Zenith is one of the cards that I making plays on. Love that set. Super easy to grade. Decent enough margin. It will bring down margins regardless, since Japanese you can throw a price and it's too much to work to try and find comps. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Weedle and Nick too. I shouldn't only mention myself and Alex. Weedle and Nick. I've actually sold to both Weedle and Nick. I think they're in the same vicinity. I can't promise you a certain percentage that they'll pay. I can't even promise with myself. Like Crown Zenith. The amount of Crown Zenith I've been offered in the past 2 weeks since Sam's Club has had that I forget what the collection box is called, but the amount of Crown Zenith that I've been offered, it's like, hey guys, I have people offering me 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 3,000 there. It's like, I really don't want 25,000 packs of Crown Zenith. My first 1,000 packs will be bought more like 80-85% if I have none, and then once we get to like 3, 4, 5,000 packs, I'll have to lower my percentage. Same thing goes for 151 today. I had multiple people reach out to me today. Hey, do you want to buy any 151? Surprise, surprise, booster bundles went live on Pokemon Center, and I believe a couple other places too, maybe. But Yeah, I've sold to Nick and Weedle. I believe I've sold to them like 80%. It was stuff that they needed. It was stuff immediately they wanted for a stream. Ray, again, Shining Cards and Collectibles. So all the people that the usual suspects that can be seen around these parts, around a lot of the Discords that I frequent too. So Weedle, Nick, Ray, myself, Alex, tons, like there are tons of people. There are tons of people, tons of outlets, tons of options. You don't need to exercise any of those options. That's the great thing about having options. It's like they're there if you want them, if you need them, but you can also seek more too. Many times I will end something with like, sell it to me or don't sell it to me. It really doesn't matter that much to me. I am not like emotionally committed to anything. I want to buy inventory for my business that I can make a margin on, but I'm not like married to any of this stuff in particular. I will make you an offer, and if you go somewhere else, it's not the end of the world. Occasionally, a collection will come through where I feel like there could be a lot of grading upside. Occasionally, I get a little bit committed to certain things. Occasionally, I've never opened that. I've never done this. I have something in the works right now, something incoming to me. It's not anything crazy, but it's pretty big. A product that I've never opened to try to rip and make money on. Could definitely lose money, could make a lot of money, but I'm very excited to do that. So sometimes I'll overpay a little bit just to kind of gamble a little bit, kind of try something new that I haven't tried before. But yeah, there's a lot of options there. It's a great part, like it's a great time that we're in, having so many like hassle-free outlets for inventory. Will I be able to get my $25 week 1 payout KA promo signed? I don't know if you actually want that or not, but like I absolutely could pay you out. So L-Dubs is in the sleeper league with me, the Pokemon Fantasy Football League. He was the top scorer for week 1. I forget if it's 25 or is it 20. I'll need to verify, but if it's 25 and if you actually want to be paid out, I can make that happen if you want it, but I don't know why you would. How's it going, PokeChef? Nice to see you. There's another guy. I don't know if he'll particularly want that one box you have, Fat Belly. But PokeChef is streaming now. I could be wrong. Correct me, Chef, if I am. Go check him out on Whatnot. Saturday nights at 11, I believe. Saturday nights, late night at 11. So maybe he'll buy a box at 80%, rip it on stream for margin. That's a better setup overall. Will make shipping and sorting a lot easier on the eBay side. Yeah, for sure. That is one nice thing about them having the child account. It won't be muddied up with, not that I do a ton of orders. My average day is like 5 to 15 orders on eBay a day. I think today it was only 5, but yeah, Mondays obviously are a bit more than that because they're a few days stacked up. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the streaming. I'm excited to see how it goes. I've done a lot of different aspects of the cardboard business and little bit with the Shopify website and my YouTube channel, but I've not done eBay Live. I've not done Fanatics Live. It'll be interesting to just try new stuff. Yeah, I'm a big fan of iced tea, and I generally I do drink Arnold Palmer. I do like Arnold Palmer a lot, but unsweetened iced tea generally. Unsweetened iced tea, and then I just pour a little bit of lemon juice in it. A little bit of I buy the bottled stuff. We actually did. We just went shopping. We just went shopping the other day. I forget which day it was. We went shopping recently, Sunday maybe, and we bought a bunch of lemons. I don't think I've ever made. Maybe I have. I've gone to the fairs. I've gone to the field days. I've gone to the state fair and bought fresh squeezed lemonade. But I don't think I've ever made fresh squeezed lemonade at home. Maybe my parents would say like, hey, when you were growing up, I know I lived somewhere where you could not do a lemonade stand. Trust me, there would be no one. There'd be people flying by 55 miles an hour, 2 cars a day or something. More than that, but not many. It would be dark trying to run a lemonade stand where I grew up. Where I live now, it would be very dark. Even darker where I live now, trying to run a lemonade stand. So my kids will never have that business opportunity. But yeah, so I don't believe I've ever, unless it was my childhood and I don't remember. But I'm gonna make sometime this week. I'm gonna make fresh squeezed lemonade. I think for the first time myself. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But probably start buying actual lemons and using actual lemons to make my lemon sweetened iced tea instead of buying that big bottle. I think it's 100% lemon juice though. I don't know. Probably something from concentrate. I don't know. It's 0 calories for sure though, and it's not artificially sweetened. So it's probably 100% lemon juice. Always easier to spend less than it is to make more money. Always easier to eat less than it is to burn calories. I think that's a decent generality, but there will always be exceptions. Some people it's not easier to spend less money. There are people that legitimately are like below the poverty line. They make minimum wage. They spend every penny they have. Like, absolutely, there are some amount of instances where people have they buy a new flat screen TV every year. They buy a brand new cell phone every year. They buy like Gucci bags and this and that when they're below the poverty line, and they just so certain people have things that they can cut, but there are a lot of families out there. There are probably millions of families out there that can't spend much less. It's like they're living very, very low income lifestyles, and it's hard to cut. Some people, it would be easier to just go work some overtime. Some people, it would be easier to, so it's very personal finance, very personal, very case by case. Generalities are helpful. Rules of thumb are helpful to some extent, but don't marry yourselves to them. And again, for some people, for me, I think it's quite easy to do both. Thankfully, I'm generally healthy. Growing up, I played a lot of sports. I was never one that was like very injury prone. One thing that I'm being conscious of, this Air Alert program is fairly intense. If my body starts telling me, Dan, you're gonna kill yourself with this thing, I will tone back the reps if I have to. I really don't want to, but like one thing I've already consciously settled on in my mind is if it gets too much, I will tone the reps and the sets back some. I will do like an Air Alert Junior, and I might revisit it in the spring. So I'm doing it from September to the end of December. I can take a couple months off, do something else. I can come back to it in like April. I can come back to it in March or something if I need to. Maybe I do Air Alert Junior now and do Air Alert Senior in the spring. I want to and intend to and will try to do the full thing, but I'm also not going to try to like destroy myself either. Thankfully, growing up, I never really had any injuries. No, like I had some friends who were really good at sports, but they were constantly in braces. They were constantly, or they had like a bad ACL, MCL, whatever. They tore something. They did something really bad. Thankfully, I never did that, and I don't intend to do it with this program either. So I'm gonna listen to my body, and I'm gonna try to be good. Any cardio plan besides pushing the mower? I have a ride-on mower. I mow my ditch too. My ditch is like this, and I need to be careful as I lose weight too, because I use myself as the counterbalance to make my lawnmower not flip over when I'm mowing my ditch. If I drop 30 pounds, I might be at risk of a mower turnover. I might need to go out and invest in a 30-pound weight to put on the left tire of my lawnmower so that I don't flip over. But genuinely, I've almost flipped that thing in the ditch before. So I'm not even joking. I need to be careful with that. But yeah, I don't have a push mower. I have a ride-on mower. The intermittent fasting, I appreciate it every time. I've heard about intermittent fasting. I've heard about going gluten-free. I've had people reach out to me, the carnivore diet, this, that, and the other thing. I truly appreciate everyone who's reached out to me in support of like, hey, I tried this and it worked for me. Hey, I tried that and it didn't work for me. Hey, I think you should look into eating these things. They're filling, they're lower calories, they taste good. I appreciate all that. Like, please keep all that support, keep all that stuff coming. I need to trim, because like my mustache is to that length where my mustache goes up my nose and is tickling my nose like crazy. I feel like I have one stuck in there or something. Sorry for that, but I need to trim the mustache and beard soon. But intermittent fasting, all these things, I just don't like the idea of them. I don't know why. Maybe I'm too dead set on the 3-meal thing because I've done it for 34 years now. But I don't think they'll work for me. I'm someone who needs breakfast. If I don't eat breakfast, depending on how late I wake up. Sometimes I wake up at 11 on the weekends, especially last year working night shift, yada yada. But if I don't eat, I do not do super well. I get really hungry and I need it. Sometimes if I skip breakfast altogether, I don't get like I get more hungry for lunch at 12 to 1 if I ate, like today I ate a few slices of pineapple for breakfast. I try to do only, like, at least lately, since I'm trying to be better, I try to do a very small serving of fruit for breakfast. I still do occasionally eat a bowl of cereal with the kids. I haven't had a Pop-Tart in months. I do like me some wild berry Pop-Tarts. Very, very bad for you, but I do enjoy them. And I'm not going to give them up forever. But I generally will try to eat a cup of oranges or an orange or a couple slices of pineapple. And then I'm hungry. I'm hungry for lunch from 12 to 1. If I skip breakfast, which I try not to do, I usually don't get hungry for lunch till like 2. I can't go till 6. I can't go till 6:30 when I do dinner. I guess theoretically, I could eat like I'm usually really hungry by like 2 or 3 if I don't eat breakfast. Maybe I could do my one big meal a day at 2 to 3. It doesn't work well with kids. It doesn't work well with a wife who's at school during that time. Like, I want to be able to live and interact around mealtime, sitting down with the family at the table, talking about our days, like all that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess theoretically I could do that while I'm not eating, but I'm pretty committed to doing the 3 meal a day thing. But yeah, I appreciate the continual support and recommendations and all that stuff. Yeah, I would love the ability. Well, one thing with finances, there are so many more creative ways. Maybe that's why I'm better. Maybe you can get more creative. You can do more like exotic things. You can some amount of luck. Some amount more luck can come into it. Whereas with finances, like some amount of where I am financially is absolutely aided by luck. Whereas you can't really luck into deficiting 1,000 calories. You can luck into 10xing your net worth in Pokemon, in crypto, in other things like that, hitting something crazy. You can't really 10x your caloric burning, your calorie burning. You can't really 10x that without manual labor, right? So, yeah, that maybe that's why I suffer with it. Maybe my finances are 100% luck. I'll say it before Brad says it. Brad's gonna say my finances are 100% luck, and my personal health and well-being is all on me. So that's why I'm not doing as well with it. But I'm gonna turn that around though. I'm gonna use the negative reinforcement that's coming from Brad and some others, and the positive reinforcement that's coming from others as well. Use them together in tandem, and they will propel you to new heights. Well, on the scale, you don't want new heights. You want new lows. I'm doing terrible. I'm doing terrible keeping up with the live chat and the one I'm highlighting. But here we go. Let me keep going down. Yeah, Rocket the Hotel. I can't do one thing I'm big on. It needs to be no machines, no equipment. It needs to be something that I can do at home. If I need to buy a pull-up bar, if I need to buy like a couple minor things, that's fine. I actually I forget what they're called. The air alert thing. Either they're step-ups, I think. I think they're just called step-ups. My chair is not strong enough for that. I'm a big dude. My chair is not sturdy enough for that, so I need to either buy one of those platforms, one of those boxes. We'll see. I might need to buy a little bit of equipment, but I'm fine with that. I just don't want to buy, like... I'm not going to buy a machine that's going to become a coat rack. I grew up in a house that had a treadmill, and it was a coat rack. I think treadmills are more often used as coat racks as that dusty thing in the corner than they are as actual treadmills. Let's see. Yeah, Benji's crushing it. Who is crushing it? He is posting all his runs in the Discord group chat that we got going on, and he's putting on the miles. CMC's a bum. Yes, the Niners did destroy the Jets. That was tough. The first 2 series were miserable. The first 2 series were a Breece Hall fumble, and then a Allen Lazard dropped pass, easy, like a gimme pass that I could have caught, that anyone could have caught on 3rd and 3, I believe it was. And then the third drive, it was like, oh my god. I actually texted a couple people. I texted like a couple Jets fans. It's like, I've not seen that before. Is this what an offense looks like? That third drive was really, really solid. Multiple, like, decent distance third down conversions. Just a lot of, like, laser accurate passes. But then just punting left and right. They couldn't stop. They couldn't stop San Fran on third down to save their lives. And to be fair, San Fran is like, they just lost in the Super Bowl. Two years in a row, right? Obviously, Kansas City won both of the last two. I believe. Yeah, I believe it was a rematch. I believe KC beat them back-to-back years. But anyways. I saw the Mason was his name, the backup Niners running back. I saw he got in a little bit of hot water over that because he said that he knew he was going to play on Friday. And the way that the Niners injury report goes, I don't know the particulars of how the NFL injury reporting rules go. But I saw something where, like, potentially the Niners could be getting fined if they intentionally withheld information from the injury report, which I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out if they do an investigation on that. Who did I say about whatnot? Oh, Chef. I think I said that about Chef. So I have a reasonable excuse. Chef streamed on whatnot a couple times under Weedle's account, to be fair. So I made an honest mistake. Yeah, calling it suicide is very crazy. Yeah, so Chef did a couple on whatnot with Weedle, and then he went on his own on eBay Live. Sorry, Chef. Friday and Saturday, 11 p.m. And thanks, Tom and Grimer, for correcting 13 minutes ago. Whatnot's back end is velvety smooth. Oh, man. I'm interested to see if Fanatics can get a viewer base going. Yeah, there's not that many people streaming Pokemon. Turning lemons into lemonade. When life gives you lemons, or when you buy lemons from the store, make lemonade. I'm not drinking soda, but I'll drink this sugary water with a hint of lemon. One thing that I've always done, it is actually really weird. I'm not a big sweet tooth. The fact that I like soda as much as I do is actually really weird. There is a disgusting amount of sugar. Like, if you put the amount of sugar next to a can of soda, like 40, I believe Coke is like 41 grams and Mountain Dew might be like 46, 47. It's a lot. I know they're 140 and 170 calories, respectively, but I forget the amount of sugar. If you put that much, like, put that on a scale. Put that on your pack weighing scale. I have one somewhere. Put 41 grams of sugar on your pack weighing scale. You will be disgusted by how much sugar you intake when you drink a soda. It's a lot. It's crazy. But when I drink juice, like, we always buy 100% juice. We buy the good stuff. We don't buy the artificially sweetened, the extra sweetened. We buy 100% juice. But juice is not amazing for you either. Like too much fruit juice, even though it's got the vitamins, it's got the good stuff that come from fruits. Juice is super sugary. I probably water down when I drink, like, apple juice, when I drink white grape peach. Great value. Bought at your local Walmart. Great value white grape peach juice. It is not super cheap. It is delicious. That is one of my favorite juices. I probably do 2/3 water, 1/3 juice. Maybe even more significantly, because I like to drink my drinks with a lot of ice most of the time. So I water mine down a ton. I'm going to look up a recipe for lemonade, and I'll probably do 1/4 of the sugar that they recommend. When I'm drinking juices, I don't like super sweet. When I drink soda, though, I do like soda. It's weird. Have you tried the prebiotic sodas, Olipop or Poppy? They're wicked good. I dare call them healthy even. I recommend highly. I've never tried those. I've never even heard of those. I'm going to write those down and look into them. Olipop and Poppy. It almost sounds familiar. Maybe I have seen something about them, but I'll look into it. Olipop is gas. I believe that means good. I believe. But I'm not positive. Use Meyer lemons if you want to get fancy. Yes. Save Chef's stream. New accounts generally don't have, when you don't have a ton of following, there's usually deals to be had. So to the detriment of Chef, it might be plus EV. Well, I guess it's a win-win because like if you go in and you get deals, more people being in there means the deals are slightly less good. So you being in there will help Chef. You'll help yourself by getting some good deals here and there. But hopefully he'll launch to the point where we'll still be there in support, but he won't need us, right? Hopefully that will be the case very soon, that he's getting market or above on everything. The rehearsal option shows you how to do everything, and in real time it's well done. So I actually I bought Nick's first eBay Live item. I bought his. So in the Pokemon space right now, you got your Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. You got all that stuff. You got all the you got all the Greek letters coming up for like the prototype Pokemon. Somebody, I forget who, but somebody bought Nick's first public eBay Live item. I bought Nick's Alpha first test stream eBay Live item. I forget what it is, but it's somewhere, and I have it labeled so that I don't ever accidentally sell it. I believe it's like a top Squirtle card or something. But I bought one in like a test stream. So on eBay, he did like a private stream, basically. He did a live stream, almost like, look, you can actually, right now I'm doing a public live stream on YouTube. You can do a private live stream that doesn't push out to your subscribers, that only people can go to that have the link. I believe, so eBay Live has that to some extent. I'm assuming Fanatics must too. There must be a way to do that. That's huge. Being able to like do a dry run where you're not actually selling anything, but you're putting the listing up, you're letting the clock go. I want to be able to do that in the next couple weeks. Walrus modding in the chat. So Walrus has got wrenches everywhere. You better watch out. I don't link if it's collector content. I don't support collector content. Oh man. Yeah, how many wrenches does Walrus have? Has he completed the Infinity Gauntlet now? He's got a lot of them. Oh man. A few weeks ago, didn't you tell us to tell you to just suck it up? I don't know what that's with reference to. Is that with reference to something to do with losing weight or eating better? Or I'm not sure. But I think I mentioned this in one of my live streams earlier in the year. I told my doctor, I said, put in my chart, like write a note in my chart, if I am not 230 or less, or 225 or less, I forget which number I gave him. If I am not under this weight, like give me hell. I've set a goal to get to this weight and maintain this weight. Like I'm not weighing in once for the big bout and then giving up. Like as I said, I'm gonna do Air Alert to end the year, through the end of the year, and then I'm gonna do something to maintain moving ahead, a higher activity level. This job is way too sedentary. So much of my time is spent here. Stellar Crown is coming soon. I have a whole pallet coming for that. I'll be throwing around boxes. I'll be doing a little bit of work that day. But generally speaking, this job is very sedentary. My chemical engineer job was quite sedentary too, but we had a big plant. And I had an upstairs office. The lab was downstairs, way in that corner of the building. And a lot of my production processes were way in that corner of the building. So I was putting in a lot of steps. I was doing a fair amount of stairs, like 100 and something thousand square foot plant that I was walking across back and forth 6 times a day or something. So and then to the lab a few times a day, depending on the day. My last job was like semi-sedentary, but not that. This one is very sedentary, so I need to consciously stay active. Yeah, 100%. It has to be sustainable. That's part of why I don't intend on dropping chicken wings altogether. Will I do less of them? Absolutely. I'm open to that. But I really like my today. So on Monday, that was Air Alert day. I felt really good doing it, and I didn't feel that bad afterwards. I feel it in my calves a little bit. I feel it in my like hamstring area. I don't know. I don't even know the names of all the muscles. Somewhere in my lower thigh, hamstring area, calves. I feel that I worked out yesterday. That's a good feeling. I I feel accomplished after having done those workouts yesterday morning, this morning. I'm looking forward to like continuing to do that. Once you get a habit going, it's easy to maintain it. I really think me, Mr. Consistent in a lot of ways with finance, with YouTube, with all that stuff. I think I can maintain like a pretty good consistent schedule. We'll see though. I do weed whack. I do have a cordless Craftsman weed whacker that I have to carry 2 extra batteries, one on each hip, to one pouring out of each pocket to get through all my weed whacking. Sometimes I'll try to do half the lawn every other time. I'll weed whack just half of what I have to do. I weed whack lower than I mow, so I do that every other time. But some like I didn't do it the last 2 times I mowed, I think, so I have to weed whack the whole thing tomorrow when I mow. I do have to mow tomorrow during the work day because we've got stuff going on tomorrow night and the next night. Let's see. Oh, people talking about Ollipops. I'm probably not gonna go super late tonight, but like I've already been going for an hour and 20 minutes, and it feels like we just started. Like time just flies when you're hanging out, chatting. If anyone has any questions, like I could see myself wrapping up by 10:30, but I could see myself going till 11 as well. Just let me know if you have any questions. I'll take them. If not, if I get to the end of the chat, we can also wind down. That's perfectly fine too. Usually I don't stream as early as Tuesday, but this week it's just the way that it worked out. Let me just pull up in a tab right now. Olipop. Healthy prebiotic soda. Only 2 to 5 grams of sugar. A store locator. Let's see where my local Olipop is. How do I... Where do I enter? There's my zip code. So it is in... Oh, look at that. It's at Walmart. Perfect. So I can get it at Walmart. I'll have to look next time. Olipop. I'll give it a try. I will definitely give it a try, and I appreciate the suggestion. One thing I genuinely wish you could do, with juice, you can just water it down. I guess soda, to an extent, I water it down because I add a lot of ice. I would love to try Coke at half sugar. Like, what would that taste like? Probably bad, because like when they do diet, they don't just take away the sugar, they add the fake sugar. I would be really interested in trying half sugar Mountain Dew, half sugar Coke, quarter sugar Coke, quarter sugar Mountain Dew. Maybe it would be terrible, but yeah, I'd be really. There's no way to do that. Maybe you could just my science background. Maybe you could distill the proper things out, and there's probably a way you could back your way into doing it. You could probably find a recipe for it. You could buy carbonated water. You could, using like a soda stream, you could make Coke-ish. But yeah, it would be interesting to just know what they taste like with a quarter of the sugar. I almost never eat breakfast, so intermittent fasting is basically my default state unless I eat a late snack. Biggest thing is just finding something that works for you. I think I've never been like a huge snacker. I just I eat, like I love food. I really genuinely love so many different foods, and I just eat a lot. A lot of, like, I hate wasting food too. I don't know exactly what it is, but like some households are not leftover households whatsoever. Like I've gone growing up, I remember going to some friends' houses. We'd order pizza and wings, or we'd have like a family homemade family meal, and we'd all eat. And then at the end of it, when my family would be boxing things up and putting them in the fridge, and hey, that's going to be lunch for the next couple of days. That's going to be this, that. Just tonight, I had leftover pork chops and leftover mac and cheese that I made on the smoker. I've been over at friends' houses. I've been at the end of a get together. They pull out the garbage can and they dump like pounds of food in there. I can't do that personally. I don't know what. It's not money. It's not like I didn't grow up during the Depression. I don't know what it is. But I just don't like wasting food. I really don't like wasting food. And a lot of times, one bad habit I have, and I need to be better. Just tonight, my wife didn't finish like I will finish the pork chop down to the bone. When I got that T-bone steak, when I got that bone in, whatever I'm finishing it down to the bone. My wife finished her pork chop with like a lot of good stuff on it. So I bagged that up. Normally, after having eaten to fill, kids wouldn't quite finish their meal. I'll take a forkful or two off their plates. Wife didn't finish her pork chop down to the bone. I'll finish that. And then I won't put away any leftovers of the leftovers. But like tonight, I bagged up the leftover of a leftover that I'll heat up as part of my lunch tomorrow. Like tomorrow I'll have her pork chop scraps, some amount of mac and cheese, maybe some applesauce, some kind of fruits, whatever, something else there. But I used to always be really bad in finishing my wife's meal, finishing my kids' meals. I need to be better with that. Diet sodas like aspartame, sucralose, all those things. I will say I believe this has sucralose. So they do high fructose corn syrup, and they do sucralose. So for whatever reason, Arnold Palmer, I don't get the aftertaste. But if you have Diet Coke, straight sucralose, straight I just said the other one, sucralose, and whatever the other artificial sweeteners are, the aftertaste is terrible. I can't get over it. I've tried it a couple times, and I can't do diet soda at all. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Walrus has the public and did a test too, but he canceled the sale. See, I made him ship the sale. So Walrus has the first edition, but I have like the alpha playtest, design concept, whatever you want to call it. I have that somewhere. I lost that, but I need to find it. Who has dropped rice and switched to riced broccoli? I don't know if I could do riced broccoli. I did buy though one thing from my group chat, my accountability buddy group chat for losing weight and health and wellness, all that stuff. It hurt doing it, but cauliflower crust pizza. I don't think I've ever had it before. I'm scared to try it, but I've heard that they taste good. I'm gonna give it a try, and I'll make the switch. Like if they're good, if they're fine. But I'm very biased against it. I am worried I'm not gonna like it. We'll see though. Yes. So I've had this conversation with my streamers. I will be 1099ing, and I will be I mean, I'm doing this as a business. I'm publicly hiring independent contractor streamers. Not that I have ever paid anyone under the table before, but like if an opportunity exists to pay someone under the table with no one ever knowing, all that stuff, like it's something people commonly do. Whereas when I'm being so publicly with something, it's one thing, and maybe I would need to vet this with my accountant. Maybe we could get creative in a sense to where I'm buying their product from them, and I'm not actually paying them for their work. I'm just buying product from them. Because, like, I never 1099'd Troll and Toad, or vice versa. Like, Troll and Toad Evo is business-to-business relationship. They sell stuff on consignment for me. I do still need to have a couple conversations with my consultant. But likely, very likely, and the streamers know this, there will be some amount of actual revenue going on. There will be 1099 revenue going on. If done properly, you can actually benefit from having some 1099 income. You can do it right to where it actually works out well for you. I will give all the advice, give all the knowledge, give all the information. I will refer them to and potentially pay for them to have some time consulting with an accountant or my accountant if they want to. I will help them with that process if they need it. But yeah, that will likely be a thing. Some amount of like selling to me though, like Ponga actually, he has bought a little bit of product that he's going to stream on my platforms, and I like he's just buying it, flipping it to me. So we might be able to come up with an arrangement, yet to be vetted by anybody. but I might have to have a conversation. And can I just buy all their inventory from them? And I'm just buying inventory. I don't need a 1099 when I'm buying someone's inventory. We'll see though. More conversations need to happen on both ends of that. They're in your the Ollipops. I will definitely be checking that out. I appreciate it. Try the orange one to start. I'm not a big orange soda guy. Growing up, I liked orange soda. But I will try the orange, and I will probably try a little sampler platter. See, I don't like I'm so bad with like sparkling water. Some things I really don't like high noons. This is obviously alcoholic. This is not just regular stuff, but high noons. I guess I never tried a high noon, but like White Claws, aren't they really similar? I don't like that stuff. What is that stuff? Is that stuff that's seltzer water, right? I don't think I like seltzer water at all. Seltzer water compared to like, I feel like there's a couple different things, and I don't like most of them. I don't know. I'll give Olipop a try though. I really like soda. Watering down does do something though. Like if I move, a lot of times at a meal, if I go out to a restaurant and I get like a Mountain Dew, I will drink 2 Mountain Dews usually. I'm usually like a 1 to 2 refill guy. So if instead I go, the equivalent would be like asking for a Mountain Dew and a glass of water and then just pouring them back and forth till they're roughly equal. If I drink the same volume and it's half Mountain Dew, half water, like obviously that's having my sugar intake. I get what you're saying though. Like if I'm gonna have one soda in a night and I just dilute it halfway to 24 ounces, like I'm gaining nothing there. I understand where you're going with it. But if I were to instead, like in a setting where I'd normally have 2 sodas, if I'm doing a 50% strength soda one time, that is functionally decreasing calories, decreasing sugar. I don't think Coke Zero is that. Is that what Coke Zero? I've never had Coke Zero, I don't think. Because I've always assumed it's diet. Is Coke Zero... Coke Zero must have... Yes, it has aspartame. Aspartame and... Asulfame potassium. Ace K. Acesulfame. Acefame. Potassium. Whatever it is. Coke Zero has artificial sweeteners. I was pretty sure. Yeah, this has been a food stream. We never know where we're gonna go, but this has been yeah. Smoked mac and cheese is I feel like I've gotten to a good spot with my pulled pork and my brisket for my eventual semi-retirement hobby side hustle of a concession trailer food truck. But I need to work on my sides now. I need to work on a good smoked mac and cheese. Salt potatoes are easy. Salt potatoes are there. Coleslaw. I'm actually going to be making next time I make pulled pork, I'm going to try making a coleslaw. I don't like the mayo-based ones. I like the vinegar-based ones. I could try. I guess I can. I'll buy a single bottle of Coke Zero and give it a try after September. I'm gonna be true to my zero soda. I won't even try these cheat sodas until after September, just to be true to my my goal that I set. Appreciate you, Frostbite Labs. Hit that thumbs up. Yes, Topps Poliwag or Poliwag or Poliwhirl maybe. I was thinking water type. I was thinking he went with a Squirtle, but he probably wouldn't have sold a Growl Squirtle. This is very better than the debate. I appreciate you. Should I go back and listen to the debate? How was it? For any debate listeners, while simultaneously half listening to me, half listening to the debate. High noons are the best, better than White Claws and True. I believe I've had a sip of a Truly, and a sip of a White Claw. Maybe I've never tried high noon. I'll have to give it a chance. Constantly, I'm arguing with my son, more my son than my daughter lately, that like you can't say you don't like it without trying it. I should not be saying I don't like high noon. I'm pretty sure I've never tried one. So I will have to give it a fair try, but I'm pretty sure I won't. Again, that will have to take place after September. But I'm gonna go on October 1st. I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna have a full cart of all these Ollipops and Poppies and Coke Zero and Trulies and High Noons and Make chaffles as a base, almond flour, egg, and shredded mozzarella. I'm gonna write that down too. Chaffle recipe. Crispy and chewy, not eggy. Interesting. The keto thing. Keto thing, not keto. Keto. The keto thing. You should look into keto recipes, moisture salad. I got you if you need to add some flavor to the diet. Keto's gluten-free, right? I love me some gluten. I want double gluten diet. No, I don't know. I would be open to trying it. But generally speaking, I like my omnivore diet. We have our sharp canines. We've got our molars for grinding. We've got all that stuff. So I want to eat all the stuff. Dan is cracking me up tonight. I'm glad I could entertain Zach. I appreciate you being here. Did Dan? Oh, no, I didn't skip it. I highlighted it. It just took me a while to get to it. I'm almost caught up now. Walrus. Oh man. White Claws only have 30 calories though, Zach. 30 calories? Do they have any alcohol? Ethanol is very high caloric content. They must not have much alcohol at all if they're only 30 calories. I'm gonna have to look into that. But yeah, that brings me to the end. If anyone has any last minute question, throw it out there. I will try to answer it quickly, but I think I'm gonna wrap up there. I will. Maybe I will regret it. Maybe you will regret it. But I haven't done it in a while. I haven't raided anybody in a while. I'm going to do my best to try and raid. He probably doesn't have it enabled. But let's see. Spicy Boys TV. They are live right now with a vendor POV Joker hour. I forget where to even go to do this. But I'm going to try to raid. So I have to go to my video. I have to go to live, edit. I'm going to try to do a live stream redirect to Joker Hour with the boys. They likely don't have it set up, but I will. We might find out soon. I will probably not listen to it till tomorrow night. Where is live stream redirect? Oh, customization maybe? Yes, customization. Will they allow me to do it? Spicy Boys TV, you do not have live redirect enabled. Why do you not have live redirect enabled? They are live and they are flopping on this. They're flopping hard. They've got what do they got? They got 12 viewers. We could triple their viewer count. I think some people are already migrating over there. But I'm gonna drop a link in the chat right now. Some people probably left when they went live anyways. Some amount of people will filter over there now. Tell Spicy Boys TV. Go over to Spicy Boys TV. Don't say Catch 'em All Collectibles raid. Raid them with yawn emojis. Copy paste your yawn emojis. They will really enjoy that. They will know what you're talking about. They will probably know who sent you. So hit them with a bunch of yawn emojis when you go over there. With that though, I'm gonna end. I appreciate everyone hanging out. You're welcome or sorry for scheduling it at the same time as the debate. I might have saved you from some worse content, but maybe I kept you from significantly better content. I don't know. I'm sure both sides of media will talk about how they demolished it and how they're gonna win and all this and that. But I'll be in. I might watch it tomorrow on replay. We'll see. But yeah, good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. Where's my OBS? I don't even know how to end right now. Yes, there's my OBS. Thanks for watching. I will catch